Ladies and gentlemen, 10 rounds of boxing. Eliminator for the British Cruiserweight Championship. Brought to you by Eddie Hearn's Matchroom Sport and sponsored by 888 Poker, Lonsdale.com and the Boxing News. We are coming to you live on Sky Sports, where we bring you the very best ringside seat in the business. All the officials have been appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Phil Lundgren, and our area representatives are Des Reese and Bill Edwards. Our timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Bob Edgeworth, and our 3 scoring judges from Fleetwood, Steve Gray, from Gillingham, Ian John Lewis, and from Twickenham, Mr. Marcus MacDonald. The referee in charge of the action from Doncaster is Mr. Michael Alexander. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Introducing to you firstly, he's fighting out of the red corner, wearing the red trunks trimmed with black and white, weighing in at 14 stone, 1 pound 10 ounces. 12 fight record, 11 wins, 5 inside the scheduled distance, and just 1 defeat. He comes to the ring as a former undefeated Southern Area Cruiserweight champion from Romford, Tony Conquest. Across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the yellow trunks trimmed with red, weighing in at 14 stone, 1 pound, 14 ounces, 11 fight record, 10 wins, 6 inside the scheduled distance, and just 1 defeat. He is the former prize fighter champion. Ladies and gentlemen, from London, your buddy, it's Wadi. Camacho! 10 rounds eliminated for the British Cruiserweight Championship.
Well, lads, you both know the rules, so let's just have a good clean fight, okay? Most of all, remember to defend yourselves at all times. Touch glove. Keep it.
Well, just about anything could happen here. Wadi Camacho can bang a bit, we know that much. We also saw him get worn down and stopped after 7 by China Clark in a battle for the English title. And Tony Conquest, we know he can bang a bit as well. Won the Southern Area title, but then last December was flattened by Neil Dawson inside a round. He took 9 months out, came back last month and stopped a Czech import inside a round. So a little bit of fragility on both sides and plenty of power on both sides. Pick a winner out of this one, Jim.
Yeah, this is a good match. Been looking forward to this one. So Conquest, the first thing he has to do is solve out this southpaw stance from Camacho. Camacho being a bit of a high, I would imagine, with his performances in the Prize Fighter series. And the fight he did lose against China Clark, I thought he showed a lot of character that night. Just ran out of steam through lack of experience. So of the two, he's maybe the one on the rise. But with the power you've just mentioned, that may count for nothing.
We'll have to wait and see. It's not a final eliminator for John Lewis Dickinson's title in an always entertaining, if not hugely talented cruiserweight division. And you mentioned China Clark there, who beat Camacho. Well, he then lost his title to Matty Askin, and both of those guys will be saying, well, hey, what about me in one of these eliminators as well? Perhaps they can set those two up to face each other, and the winner of that one against the winner of this one gets a shot at John Lewis Dickinson. And we can sort out who is the top challenger to Dickinson.
Well, Camacho started well. He's throwing a lot of jabs which are not all landing, but they're preventing a Conquest really from getting anything off. Tried a right hand there, but I think it landed in the shoulder. So positive, confident looking start from Camacho without really totally committing himself and taking chances.
Changed trainers after his defeat at China Clark. Wadi Camacho is now with Don Charles. Stamina was certainly an issue that night, as you say, Jim. Showed an awful lot of courage. As he was shipping some punishment in that one.
He looks a bit more relaxed tonight. That was a nice left hand he let go there, the Camacho. So he's obviously learned from that, and as I say, he did show some character that night.
Conquest has been looking to land those right hands over the top in this first round, which is the shot against the southpaw. Oh, got him with a left hook there though, Camacho. That wobbled him. There's the power we talked about, and there's more of it. Down goes Conquest. Another left.
Well, his whole attitude from the first bell has been good. Camacho is here to win, he's here to make a statement, and two terrific punches, second one causing the knockdown.
Now, Conquest has his wits about him. He stayed on one knee till 9. He was looking at Michael Alexander all the way. But can Camacho finish him off here inside a round? You said you like what you'd seen of him in this opening session, and there was the exclamation mark put on at the end. That's a right hand from Conquest, though. Good comeback from the Romford man as we get down to the last few seconds of what's been a very eventful opening session. We thought this would be a good one. It's shaping up nicely. Oh, nice left-hand counter from Camacho right on the bell. Good stuff, both guys. Camacho's round by a long way. That knockdown followed up a shot that had shaken Conquest to his boots just a few seconds earlier, and they've got work to do there.
Yeah, well, Camacho had landed a couple of straight lefts from that southpaw stance. That was a kind of clump around the ear, if you like, but it scrambled the Conquest's senses a little bit. Then the kind of uppercut, come left hook from the same stance, scored the knockdown. You know, that was just caught him around the ear while he was trying to launch a right hand of his own. That certainly shook him up. And then, to his credit, Camacho was quick to respond, come back in. There comes the uppercut. Bang on the chin, and over he goes. Really positive, confident start from Camacho, and this has to be looked upon as a step up in class. So that was a terrific opening round from him.
Seconds out, round 2.
Round 2 of 10. A bit of trouble getting Conquest stool out of there. Michael Alexander insists on that before we get going, and here we are again. Round 2 of this 10-rounder, an eliminator for the British Cruiserweight title. Wadi Camacho, Barcelona born. Living in Canning Town these days in the yellow trunks with the red trim, up against Tony Conquest from Romford. Camacho just trying to draw something from Conquest. Now Conquest replying in kind, and then both of them can get back to work.
Yeah, both showing kind of little feints, just trying to draw the lead. Conquest is going to have to come forward a bit more, just as he did there. He's been pushed onto his heels throughout the opening round. Obviously didn't work for him. So he needs to get the body weight forward and get some of those right hands off.
Again, here we go, the phony wall. Conquest getting a right hand through there.
Camacho reaching a little bit in this round, leaving himself wide open when he missed there. Needs to get his feet a little bit closer as he was doing earlier.
Still, it's Camacho the aggressor, Jim, and Conquest being forced to back up against the ropes on the back foot. Now he's taking a step forward and having a bit of success with it as well. I think you're absolutely right, Jim. He's got to get on the front foot against an opponent that's got natural height advantages and just looks a big physical specimen as well, Camacho.
Yeah, and there's a great deal of confidence. There's that left hand lead again from Camacho. Not so many clean punches landed in this round, a lot of feinting, but there's it. The ones that count are coming from Camacho again.
Dug one into the body there as well. And Camacho senses that he shook Conquest up there once again. Blocked that one off. But those left hands are coming in thick and fast now. And then Conquest gets through with the right hand again. Oh, that's nailed him again, a big left hand.
That was right on the point of the chin where you want a punch to land. That was perfectly delivered, and that'll take a little bit of recovering from. His legs look okay, the referee double checking. That'll have taken a lot out of him.
So 2 rounds and on the floor twice, both from left hands. Conquest, he clearly is struggling with Camacho's power here.
And I think the southpaw stance is a huge problem to him, because his left hand leads from that stance that hasn't dealt with. The southpaw jab has been a test, but the right hand lead has caused the damage. Nice comeback from him, but another big round against him.
Yeah, he shows flashes, and he's certainly gritting his teeth and biting down on that gum shield here as Jason Rowland goes to work again.
Come on, you've got to get through him, Tony. Yep. You're too slow with your reflexes. Step back, step back.
He's saying you're too slow with your reflexes. He is getting tagged too easily with that left hand.
I just think he's finding the southpaw stance a nightmare. Camacho being a pest with the jab, you know, he keeps flicking it forward, although it's not landing, it's preventing Conquest from setting anything up. But there you go, that's where you want a punch to land, right in the point of the chin. Did well getting back up from that and back in to action again, but that was a beauty. Look at that, bang, bang on the point of the chin, lovely punch. And again, the leading left hand from the southpaw stance of Camacho. That's what's caused all the problems for Conquest.
Round three.
Round three, it's slated for 10. It would be amazing if we got all 10 rounds out of this one with Conquest on the floor twice. Now what can he do to try and change things around?
I think the first thing he's got to do, Nick, is come up with something to give himself a little bit of confidence, because this has been a nightmare start from him twice on the floor. So he's going to have to shake Camacho up. He's going to have to gain his respect. Camacho has a strut about his boxing. He's going to have to take that away from him with a good solid right hand. Easier said than done.
And there's a real confident look about Camacho as well. There's a couple of right hands getting in. And Camacho looked pretty easy to hit there. Maybe this is the platform that Conquest needs to build on, and Camacho just backing up, getting out of the way of that follow-up right hand.
It's as though Camacho didn't even take the trouble to get away from that right hand. That was like a little show of machismo there, which is silly up in this weight division. Here he comes again with that jab. No, but good work again with the right hand. He's actually, it's a mirror image. He's leading with the right. Pretty much the way Camacho was doing earlier.
Camacho has woken up. And obviously the risk, for Conquest when he does unload, he is open. He's just waiting for the next one to go off. He just sense something big could be around the corner at any moment.
Conquest with his back away from the ropes, getting some right hands off. Yep, some decent work from him in this round.
Getting out of the range of that rather lazy looking southpaw jab and getting tagged again. This is good from Conquest. He's just chipping away in there, getting through again, and Camacho's work rate is dipping.
I think Camacho's concentration is a big problem here. I don't know if he thought he had this in the bag with 2 knockdowns, but his mind doesn't seem to be on the job. It's as though he thinks the job was done. And this has been a poor round from him, and he's been hurt a couple of times.
Oh, look at how he was talking to the camera when Conquest was on the floor the second time in the corner, as if to say, yeah, that's it, it's all over. Yeah, Conquest again took his time before getting up. The head was clear. He's still thinking in there, and he's definitely coming back into this one if he can keep it going. A much better round for the Romford man so far.
It has been a better round, but he's really had to work hard to get himself back into this. This is good work from Conquest.
Blood from the nose of Camacho as well. That left hook got through. Really coming up with something here now, Conquest.
Southpaw. Conquest just turned to southpaw there for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, and switched back out. Much better round for the man who's been on the floor twice.
Wicked.
Well, Tony Conquest has changed the pace in that third round.
Yeah, well, I was saying he had to do something to gain the respect of Camacho, because Camacho was all over him, and he certainly did that. And some more terrific right hands. Just as I say, the mirror image of what Camacho was doing, leading with the back hand and getting it bang on home to the target. Left hook as well there from Conquest.
And I tell you what, there was a much more positive look from Jason Rowland in Conquest corner as he sent him out for the start of round 4. Still a long way to go, and we know he can be hurt by Camacho. But he's got something to work with now, Conquest. He needs to keep doing this. Wonder if he'll continue to switch in and out of southpaw.
Yeah, better body language even from Conquest now. He's trying to claim the centre of the ring. Little feints. Just, you can see him winding up the right hand, though probably Camacho can see the same.
Conquest slipping that one and coming back with a response. And another big load up with the right hand, and Conquest couldn't connect on that one because he telegraphed it. Camacho just ducked underneath. But they're both signalling that they want to land the big shot, just trying to draw the lead. I think work the opening. There's almost a sense here that, Jim, just to sort of amplify a point you were making earlier, that Camacho thinks, yeah, I've had him on the floor twice, job done, and it isn't.
Yep, his concentration certainly seemed to dip, and his defences are disappearing as well. He's not coping with the right hand of Conquest. Was his right hand doing all the way down there? Is that right hand again from Conquest? Expounding answer.
And again, slipping inside.
Southpaw again. Conquest.
Doesn't stay there though. Camacho trying to get his jab going here, and that's been not much of a factor. And again, wide open to the right hands, Camacho. There's very little upper body movement from him when Conquest is throwing these right hands.
I think Camacho is too intent on hurting Conquest. He's looking for the stoppage when he should be thinking about landing some punches. Conquest, a cut over the left eye. Conquest, oh, how serious it is, doesn't look serious, but certainly Camacho looking a bit more business-like at the moment. He's only been half at it for the last couple of rounds. Oh, good, big shot.
Much better shot. Conquest is forced to hold again, and that's the problem Conquest has got. Every time Camacho connects with the left hand, Conquest feels it really down to his boots. Got him with a couple of good counters though. That was a terrific response again. Conquest with a really strong looking three-punch combination after making Camacho miss.
And this has been a terrific round, nip and tuck, and I think Conquest had the better of things over the 3 minutes.
And I would have to agree with you, even though Camacho did shake him up. Again, a terrific response from Conquest. And again, finding a static target as well, Conquest.
We want more. We know we've got more, yeah?
Camacho looks as though he fancies the stoppage, and that's all he's thinking about, whereas Conquest a little bit busy, but you can see how he's breathing in there. He's taking a lot out of himself, getting himself back into this. A huge effort it's taken, and there's the right hand that is working so well for him, claiming the centre of the ring a lot more, and a real turnaround in this one.
Bend for the second so it goes over your top. You start
Expecting an exciting match here, and that's what we're getting.
We certainly are. Conquest still though behind, because don't forget, on the floor in the first 2 rounds they'll be marked down as 10-8 rounds. Even if you give him the last 2 10-9, the Romford man is still behind on the cards, and still knows that if he does get tagged cleanly with a left hand, it's going to rock him. Gone to work on that cut on the eye of Tony Conquest. There's a mark under the left eye of Camacho as well. Again, Conquest first in. Attack the body to start off with.
Camacho's reactions defensively just don't seem sharp enough at times. You know, he seems to get caught just standing there as though he's not seeing the punches coming, just too slow to react. And Conquest has taken advantage of that.
Well, again, I question the stamina, Jim. Go back to that China Clark fight when it just became a war, a battle of attrition, and it was a lot of heart from Camacho, but he was just gassed physically. Just couldn't go on. I just wonder if Conquest is better conditioned here.
Well, Camacho's trying to impose himself on Conquest, but the better shot's coming back. He's taken far too long and being too predictable in his punching.
That jab of Camacho's needs some work. It's not an effective weapon for him. first with the right hand, just rocked Camacho's head back.
There it is again. I mean, I've spoken about his reflexes and his reactions. You need them if you're going to have your hands down at your waist, the way Camacho's doing, and he's not quick enough or sharp enough to box for that. Just takes a jab, just glancing off his chin there.
He does look slow. Still got the power, of course, don't forget. A clean left hook could end this at any time for Camacho, but these last 2 rounds he's been outworked, and you can add this round onto that as well.
Yeah, and these punches from Conquest are not huge punches, but I mean, they knock the energy out of you because he's taking them cleanly, he's taking them with his head in the air. I'm still looking for the big shot, Camacho, and it's not happening for him.
And the jab ineffective from Camacho. And the right hand ineffective from Conquest. A quieter round, that blood starting to flow from the right eye. They'll need to go back to work on Conquest in just a few seconds. Caused by a punch. Camacho almost walked onto a right hand there. He looked really tired as he just walked in.
Yep, he just fell in with his own punch, a big wide left hand from him. Another good round from Conquest.
Doing what you're doing, yeah? Sometimes he's only got one.
Well, the body language in there, just look at that. Tony Conquest on the floor twice, grinning at the moment. He feels he's got this under control.
Yeah, well, they can't seem to miss Camacho with the right hand lead. Look what Camacho's hands are as he comes forward with his own punches. He's slow and predictable. His own reflexes don't seem to be there. So he's been caught continuously.
Round 6. Well, it looked like a procession early on for Camacho. We thought it would be all over pretty quickly, but just look at this, Jim. Tony Conquest clawing his way back up the mountain.
Yeah, I have him 1 point up, Camacho, simply because of the first 2. It was 4 points up after 2 rounds. Couldn't have asked for a better start, but then he seemed to think the job was done and switched off. Trying to rev up a little bit now, maybe.
Had a reasonable start in the last round and faded away in terms of his work rate. And again, that pouring right hand from Camacho just doesn't do anything at all. And Conquest, again, trying to get inside. Camacho does not look like he's a guy that can work inside either.
He doesn't deal with pressure very well, Camacho. He makes mistakes. He stands tall and then he pulls away even taller when the Conquest comes towards him. So it's dangerous the way he's going about things here.
A long way out of range again. Camacho really needs to find another one of those left hands. That's the great leveler for him, but missed there. Conquest though missed as well as he tried to hit him with the right hand counter.
Camacho's just been too predictable. You can see what's coming. You can see what punches he's setting up to throw. Yep, Conquest getting the jab off as well now. Really looking comfortable now, Tony Conquest.
Yeah, Conquest just out of range a little bit in this round. Staying out of trouble too. This is a much closer round so far. Who can take control of it in the last minute? Left to the body from Camacho. That shook Conquest up a little bit. Now what kind of response can he find again? He was shaken by that.
Yep, landed another one. But he's come back again with terrific right hands.
But when he lands clean, it doesn't seem to affect Camacho. He stands firm. But every time that left hand does go from Camacho, Conquest feels it, but again he's digging in and finding a response and not letting Camacho get on top.
Camacho has the power, he also has the physical strength, but he's not using either of those things. And then he's been pushed onto the back foot again. Another good round here.
It's a fight that you feel physically Camacho could overwhelm Conquest if he wanted to.
Yeah, but he's not using his advantages in power or physical strength. He did for about a little 10-second spell there. Oh, beautiful shot there.
Right on the bell.
Necessary shot, yeah? So listen to me.
Well, Don Charles taking control of affairs in there now.
Yeah,
telling his man, don't throw things away here, because he knows that's what he's doing. That was the good spell there for Camacho, the big thumping left hand. He was unable to follow up on it, and then too often we saw Conquest coming back with the little educated counters.
But he was hurt a couple of times to the body in that last round, Conquest. Round 7 of an absorbing eliminator for the British Cruiserweight title. Wadi Camacho in the yellow and red has had his man on the floor in both of the first 2 rounds, couldn't keep him there, and Tony Conquest has just kept coming and coming and coming. And casting a glance at your card, Jim, you got it neck and neck now.
Yep, got them all square after a disastrous start. Full credit to Conquest. He's been winning everything on that card, just for the far cleaner boxing. When you get the feeling that Camacho should be declaring war on Conquest here, using the physical advantages that he has, but he's still trying to pick away and get the job done with a single big left hand, and it's not happening.
Conquest has put a lot of work into these last 4 rounds himself. As he's starting to feel the pace a little bit here. There's a response. This is better from Camacho, but it's Conquest really that's slowed the pace a little bit, Jim, here, and he doesn't need to be doing this.
Yeah, but as we've been saying, you know, it's taken a huge effort to turn things around and get himself back into this. The jab working a little bit better from Camacho at the moment.
Good left hand from Conquest, and following up with a combination upstairs as well. And again, clean punches, and there's another right hand, but he doesn't seem to be able to shake Camacho, who takes a punch. He really does, but he doesn't want to be taking too many more of those.
Well, he doesn't have to be shaking him too much when he's landing as cleanly as this, and Camacho can't seem to match him for accuracy. Really boxing well, he's held his boxing together well through all the crises that he's been in tonight, Conquest. Yep, boxing well again in this round. There's that right hand. Just lost the steam by the time it landed, but it landed.
But it's another round, Jim. You've seen Camacho start off okay and just fade. And here he is fading again in the last few seconds. He did get a left hook to the body in the last round in the last few seconds, but we're not seeing much in the last few seconds of this round.
See, I was saying this as a step up for Camacho. I mean, after the start, the first 2 rounds, I mean, you thought it was all there for him. But this is a tough match for him, and Conquest is showing what he's about now. He has the bit more experience, and he now has the bit between his teeth. Really boxing well. Tremendous turnaround from him.
This is going to be cold, baby.
What a night of boxing we have here at the O2 this evening. Plenty to look forward to. And this isn't a bad little appetizer, Jim.
Well, Camacho's corner will tell him, don't set up for the big punches, you know, think about a bit more work rate. I think they feel, as I do, that this is slipping away from him. A fight you had in the bag.
Yeah, Don Charles, while we were away, was saying to Wadi Camacho, don't look to just load up. The opportunities will come. You've got to be a bit slicker, a bit more intricate, and he needs to do something here, because if your card is to be believed, Jim, the tide has now turned in Conquest's favour with 3 to play.
Getting the jab going now, a bit more urgency. Maybe his corner will get through to him. Camacho.
Caught again, good combination. Camacho felt it. And you can see he was trying to establish the jab, Jim, but I question how many of those landed. Again, falling short, getting blocked. Nice big right hand coming in from Conquest. Forced Camacho to stop and have a little think, and he catches another right hand, and he's shaken up again. Left hook getting through as well. Being outworked in this round.
And Conquest not wasting anything, you know, set himself nicely in the centre of the ring, just picking his times when to go to work. Not allowing Camacho to produce anything so far in this round.
Been so impressed with Tony Conquest throughout this fight, particularly when he was on the floor those times, Jim. He took one knee, stayed there till he was at 9, then got up and he maintained eye contact with the referee the whole time, just saying, I'm okay. He handled it very professionally, the crisis, kept himself together and has just chipped away, outworked his man, stuck to his boxing, and again here he is on the front foot, and Camacho with no reply.
Camacho has done nothing so far in this round. Prodded with the jab, now he's trying to produce, but better coming back at him.
Conquest happy to stand there and trade. Not sure that's a good idea, because that left hand just whizzed in, and Conquest again backing up this time. He doesn't want to give Camacho anything to build on. Camacho knows he's got the power to put this fella on the floor, and he's landed cleanly 2 or 3 times here, and Conquest getting dragged into a war, and that is not smart.
Still 45 seconds to go here. Real signs of tiredness from Conquest at the moment. He's done well so far the first couple of minutes of this round, but Camacho beginning to take over.
Yeah, they're both blowing hard. They both need a breather. A timeout from Michael Alexander as that eye gets another look, and I do hope this doesn't get stopped. I really do, because it's been a thriller. It's been really good stuff.
The cut hasn't worsened, Nick. It just started bleeding again, so thankfully we're still in business. This is good.
Yeah, whatever happens, you don't want it to end on a referee stoppage. You really don't. More blood seeping from that right eye. Camacho's had his moments in this round. It's been a much closer one. Again, slipping inside there. Well, pick a winner out of that one. That was close. Conquest did some good early work, but Camacho, when they stood and traded, looked like he might be ready to take him out again.
Good, isn't it? 2 rounds to go.
Fitness and arsehole, this is now. Good shot.
I think the little break the referee had to check the cut suited Conquest. He'd produced some good work for a couple of minutes, but then Camacho was coming straight back at him. That gave him maybe the little breather that he needed. But I still think he produced the better work. They teed off on each other here. Camacho throwing the more powerful shots. This was a good spell from Camacho. It didn't last all that long. And it's another round, close as you say. But you pick, if you ask me who produced the better work, I still think it was Conquest. This is close though.
Yeah, it really is.
Second out, round 9.
There's certainly a couple of these last 6 rounds that you could have scored towards Camacho, and don't forget with the 2 10-8s to open up, that does give him a margin for error. Round 9, one more after this. An eliminator for the British Cruiserweight title. I think I said at the end of the second round, Jim, didn't I? I'd be very surprised if this one goes the distance. Well, boxing is full of surprises. These two have really toughed it out.
A lovely right hand from Conquest again. Yeah, Camacho just seems to stand there, rooted, as the punch comes towards him.
But can Conquest hurt him? Because he lands flush, clean and regularly. And Camacho just soaks it up. Again, the positive work coming from Tony Conquest here.
And again, Camacho not using the advantages that he has, the strength, the power, and just the sheer size of him. Here he comes now.
What about the body shots, Jim? He's hardly bothered Camacho with a body shot. When he did, he hurt him. Now he's starting to unload again, but catching a right hand for his pains. And there's another one. Conquest first in again. Better jabbing, though, from Camacho. Can he set up that big left hand?
Well, you feel that Camacho would have to take it to Conquest and stay there, just let the punches flow. But he's still picking away, just fighting in little spurts.
Nice counter again, right hand. Slipping inside the lead, Conquest. Inside the last minute of round 9, Conquest going to work again. A couple of solid-looking right hands. Camacho trying to find a response now. And again, it's Conquest first to the punch, as he has been so often from round 3 onwards. Shield nearly came out there for Camacho.
I just feel Conquest is showing he's the better man of the two, the better technique. He's held his boxing together. And Camacho just stopped producing pretty early in this one tonight.
Again, most of them missing from Wadi Camacho. The cleaner work coming from Tony Conquest. And what was that? Real crude-looking stuff there from Camacho. Looks like he tried to look Conquest off and then launched in. Conquest wasn't buying any of that.
No, there's nothing really cleanly come from Camacho in that round.
This is the more optimistic corner right now.
I think Conquest has turned us all the way around with boxing like that, picking clean, accurate punches like that. I mean, when was the last time we saw action like that coming from Camacho? Quite a few rounds ago. Conquest looking far happier in the corner these days.
Well, he was smiling in some of the middle rounds. Jason Rowland has done a very tidy job with him, keeping everything calm, staying within the game plan. And they're still staying with it. Camacho off his stool early. Who would have thought this? The Wadi Camacho had his man on the floor twice in the first 2 rounds, but it's Wadi that needs the big finish here, and possibly a knockdown to get anything out of this. It depends on the judges, and we do have 3 scoring judges. It won't be Michael Alexander that calls it. Ian John Lewis, Marcus McDonald, Steve Gray are the men officiating. And again, the eye-catching stuff. Tony Conquest is the man providing it.
Well, will Camacho try to impose himself at long last, or is he going to keep on picking away with punches, trying to set Conquest up for one big left hand? That seems to be what he's been doing.
Well, if it lands, it could be a game changer. But that's becoming a big if now. We're in the last 3 minutes.
Conquest out of range so far. Maybe just happy to keep out of harm's way.
And Camacho not able to offer anything in terms of a response to that.
Well, he's landing the jab, he's going for it now, Camacho.
Catching a big right hand for his pains again though, but walking through it as he's done everything Conquest has thrown at him.
But as I say, he should be taking it to Conquest and staying with him. Whatever he has left in the tank, he should be pouring it out here, because I think this has slipped away from him. This is a bit better from him. The first time he's actually has his hands up high. We haven't seen that either from Camacho all the way through.
And it's Conquest getting the crowd going again as we get down to the last minute or so of what's been an absorbing and grueling 10-rounder. 1 minute remains. And still Camacho can't up the work rate. Lots of posing and preening going on. Not scoring any points. But look what Conquest does in response. 3 unanswered punches. Another one. And how many more of these is he going to land? And it's turning into a landslide here for Conquest.
Yeah, and again, Camacho's head is standing there as though he doesn't see the punches coming. Missing badly himself.
30 seconds left. He was shaken again though. And every time he does get involved in a tear-up Conquest, Things look like they go wrong in a hurry, but can Camacho find anything in the last 20 seconds? Good response again from Conquest.
Well, Camacho was hurt in that last little exchange. He's back onto his heels now. He needed a big round and he's not getting one. That missing badly. I can only see one winner here.
Me too, but I'll tell you something else, Jim. If boxing is about entertainment, these guys delivered in bucket loads. That really was terrific action. And well-deserved applause throughout this arena. Jim, you see it massive.
Yep, I've got them all the way around. I couldn't give Camacho a round after the third round onwards. He was predictable, he was slow. Rounds 3 and 4 were a little bit closer. But from that point on, all the better work for me was coming from Tony Conquest. And I think the body language in the Conquest's camp, they feel pretty certain they've done enough. I certainly do. A little bit tighter, I wouldn't argue with. But I just feel that Camacho threw it away. A terrific start, 4 points up after 2 rounds. But he just seemed to lose his concentration, stop producing. But
he thinks he's won, Jim. Look at this.
Yeah, he does, but I don't know why, because all the punches that you seem to remember came from Tony Conquest. He had a huge start. Tony Conquest had a mountain to climb after 2 rounds, but I thought from that point on he was the better man. Technique, punches landed, accuracy. So, looking forward to see what the judges felt about this one.
Judges very much in the spotlight these days. I got it closer than you, Jim. I gave Camacho one of those last 8 rounds. So for me, it's Conquest by 2, but it's very hard to make a case for Camacho winning that one. And he's an enigma. He's got a lot of power. He takes a shot so well. He's got through the 10 rounds. There's an awful lot you can build on there for Wadi Camacho. But he does seem very limited on ideas.
Yeah, I mean, he boxed at the wrong pace, all the way through. I just think he felt he had the job done in the early stages. It looked as though he did. So, really looking forward to see what the judges were impressed by in this one.
Well, Jim sees it 4 rounds for Tony Conquest. I got it 2 rounds for Tony Conquest. Doesn't matter what we think. There are 3 scoring judges, and this is how they see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of boxing in an eliminator for the British Cruiserweight Championship, the judges' scorecards read: Judge Steve Gray has scored this 95-94, Ian John Lewis 96-93, Marcus McDonald 96-93. All 3 judges are in favour of the winner, who will go through now to box for the British Cruiserweight Championship and the Lord Lonsdale's Challenge Belt, and that is Tony Conquest!
Deserved it as well. And the look of disbelief on Wadi Camacho's face told its own story. Look at him. He thinks he won that, genuinely.
I mean, surely the language in the corner, Camacho's corner in between rounds, and they couldn't have been any straighter with him. They told him he was throwing it away. They told him he had to up his work rate, stop just looking for single power shots. But he didn't respond. Not they got the right man. I had it a little bit wide on the judges, but I don't care about that. I thought from the second round onward there was only one man producing, and that was Tony Conquest. And what a terrific turnaround and a terrific performance from him.
Absolutely right. You had it by 4, I had it by 2. 2 of the judges had it by 3, the other had it by 1. But it was unanimous all across the board. Tony Conquest won that fight and won it handily, and deserved to as well. What a terrific performance from the Wrongford man, when it looked like it was all over for him in those first 2 rounds, but he kept it together so well. And Wadi Camacho, will be very interesting to hear what he says at the end of this one, because he genuinely, that wasn't showboating there, he genuinely expected that he was going to hear his name called, and was shocked when he didn't. Let's hear from the 2 guys with Adam.
Guys, first of all, terrific eliminator for the British Cruiserweight title, and I think that the crowd absolutely loved every minute of it. Congratulations, Tony Conquest. Somehow you got through the first 2 rounds. How?
Listen, in the past I've had a lot of injuries. Even when I boxed Neil Dawson, I wouldn't take nothing away from the man. But over the last 2 years, no excuses or anything like that for under par performances, but I've been struggling quite bad with injuries. And tonight, I just felt good. Everything went well in training. everything went terrific. I had a great battle with Wadi. We're old friends, obviously, and we know each other well. We're buddies, yeah. And
but down twice in the first 2 rounds, they look like no hope.
Yeah, just grit your teeth and get through it. I'm a Conquest. That's my family name. That's what I am. I conquer. I just keep getting up and bouncing back, and that's what I'll keep doing.
Wadi, you had him. Why did you let him off the hook?
I was shocked. I'm shocked. Really and truly, you know, I put him down twice. I took my time. I was just moving around, picking shots like that. I knew I was up comfortable. Obviously, I could have put a bit more, but like, to me, the score is a joke.
You thought you were up. The 3 judges had it to Tony, so did a lot of the people at ringside as well. Do you feel that you were just caught too much tonight?
No, not at all. Like, to me, I know for a fact I won that fight. But you know, credit to Tony. You know, we're still buddies. Like I said, I come to his fights and I support him. You know, it's only when we got a fight here. Obviously, you know, we're not friends, but we're friends all the time. So I'm saying, like, I'm around his area.
But you know, that's behind us now, isn't it?
Well,
you've done it the hard way. Do you want to do it again?
I'll fight anyone. I'm not being flash or big-headed saying that, but we're fighters. That's what we do. We fight. So if it was a great fight and everyone loved it, of course we'd do it again. You know, it's what we do. We're boxers. You know, I'd love to give Wadi another fight, and I'd love to fight him again. So we've a bit up and down in the first couple of rounds, but you know, I enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Well done, both of you. Thank you.
Conquest climbs the mountain off the floor twice to win that British Cruiserweight title.